Marguerite Bennett and Marguerite Sauvage reveal their new future for Kara Zor-El as the Superwoman has left Earth for the moon, where she protects the disenfranchised with her non-violent tactics, but that might all change with the arrival of a superpowered alien girl. Marguerite Bennett is no stranger to the DC Universe or to Kara, having written versions of the character before, and here she delivers a truly unique and interesting take on a slightly older and a little more world-weary Kara. I thoroughly enjoyed that the whole outline of the book is that it relies on her and Krypto's relationship, and how the Superdog taught her so much and helped her deal with the anger and the little bit of jealousy she had for not being able to fulfill her role as protector of the Earth and of her cousin, mainly because her cousin beat her to it by no fault of his own. Kara also getting to try and pass on what she has learned and the lessons she learned from Krypto to the next generation is so cool as well, and I like that in a way she does kind of get to finally fulfill her role as protector for this young woman. Linari was an interesting and complex character as well, and she does remind me a little bit of a younger Kara, and I enjoyed the backstory Bennett crafted for her, again echoing Kara and Krypton's past with her people also warring with themselves and not seeing Armageddon coming for them. Marguerite Sauvage joins the book as its artist, and boy what an artist she is. This is my first proper exposure to her artwork through a whole book, and my god was it incredible. I love the watercolored cool colors that give the story this wonderful dreamlike feel. Everything she does flows really nicely from panel to panel, and her color use was brilliant, especially having Kara standing out amongst a sea of cool blues and whites in her awesome new red dress costume. Future State Kara Zor-El Superwoman issue 1 was a wonderful new direction for Kara to go in and a fantastic first part in her new story. I enjoyed her carrying on her teachings she learned from Krypto and offering them up to the next generation. The art was absolutely stellar and gave the book an awesome dreamlike visual aesthetic that I can't wait to see continue throughout the second issue. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. Future State Kara Zor-El Superwoman issue 1 heads years into the future, where on the moon colony, Kara looks over the grave of Krypto, knowing thanks to meeting the dog, she learned to help others, be kind, and know that no one is born wise. She remembers arriving on Earth to find her cousin had fulfilled her role as protector, and not so long ago she struggled to see that mantle passed on to his son, who had grown up not needing her. She knows she made peace with that, and that's when she learned Krypto accepted her for who she already was. A lesson that she wished she could have learned sooner, but this is her place now. She tells Krypto that the colony on the moon is where the displaced of Earth can feel safe, and she tries to be what her, Clark, and John should have been all along, tending to the world like a garden, helping others and being kind, and remembering no one is born wise. She knows it's much easier said than done as a spacecraft smashes through the shield wall. Kara goes to investigate and is attacked by the child who disembarks from the ship. Kara tries to determine who the child is, but the being morphs into a fox-like creature to escape. However, Kara manages to grab her, knowing that she can't get loose in the colony. The being sprouts wings, so Kara blasts her with her heat vision, but the being swallows it up, the heat vision powering her as she takes Kara's powers as well. The beings fall onto the ground in front of Krypto's grave as Kara says that she's had enough, grabbing the tennis ball on the grave and bluffing to the alien that it's a quantum detonator, and if the being doesn't give up, she'll activate it and kill them all. The woman stops, asking if this is the moon colony someone can seek refuge on. Kara says it is, wondering why she acted like this if she's heard of this place, but the being says she'd not heard of Kara. Kara introduces herself as Superwoman, learning the woman's name is Linari of the Star Swamp asteroid, finding the young girl only has just come of age, having earned her horns a season past. The girl reveals there aren't many of her kind left, apologizing to Kara for destroying the garden they are in. Over the next few days, Kara helps Linari get settled, showing her how to cook and where the library on the colony is. Linari reveals that she doesn't understand her powers, thinking she was either gifted, cursed, or chosen, and because of it, she is a runaway. She shows Kara the Starfall jewel hidden in her head, saying that if someone were to take it, she would die. As they get to know one another more, Kara begins to feel like how she thinks Krypto must have felt when they first met, and how he had to grow up to deal with her, and how she's doing the same here. This makes Kara begin to wonder what Linari is running from. Outside the solar system, a ship filled with shadow creatures lock onto Lenari's signal, finding that she has run to a small moon, knowing it's some safe haven for people who are displaced, but it doesn't say anything about harboring thieves or blood traders. The beings know that Lenari's father gave her powers he wasn't allowed to, so they need to kill her and take the powers and use them to annihilate the moon. 3 days later, Superwoman and Lenari help the people of the moon, and while they work, Kara tells Lenari her story and how she left Earth after a fight with Superman, not wanting rage or violence ever again, which is why she came to the moon with the outcasts to try and be of some use. Lenari says that she's now with all of the other unwanted outcasts, quickly apologizing since she thought Kara was meant to inherit the Earth. Kara asks who said that, so Lenari says she was meant to defend the planet while her cousin grew up, and it wasn't her fault he was grown by the time she got there, and she was useless and his place on Earth should have been hers since it was her birthright. Lenari reveals that on her world, she is a king's child and their people fought over the riches of riches, going to war over literally everything, and because of those wars, there was none of them left. Soon her father happened across the Starfall Jewel, which was one of the wars that they were fighting over, and with his dying breath, he gave its powers to her, and their ancestral enemies now seek it out. Kara knows that that won't happen, but Lenari isn't so sure, noting how the people don't seem to like that Superwoman is watching over them, so it's not as though they're gonna have any backup from them. Kara refuses to turn to a life of violence again, saying that their little fight was because she thought Lenari meant harm to the colony, but she is against true fighting and true rage and violence, something their fight didn't have. Lenari wonders why Kara is letting them take this world and her birthright from them, but the hero says birthrights are nothing compared to what they choose to make and build for themselves, especially when birthrights begin with blood being spilled. Kara shows Lenari a broken dam used to irrigate some of the dead moon, asking if she would like to fix it. The alien doesn't know how she can do this when she can't even fix herself, but Kara tells her not to focus on the past and to focus on what comes next. Lenari accidentally breaks the boulder she tries to lift as Kara asks her what does she want, and her answer cannot involve her family or her foes or ones from her past. Lenari stresses about what to say and what she wants to be next, saying that she wants control of her powers and the loneliness not to hurt anymore, and to not feel afraid of herself. Kara wants her to imagine herself as someone who is strong, since she is. Lenari does so, and without any effort manages to lift the boulder and fix the dam. Kara says that she's in control and there is no need for fear or anger, and all that she has to do is be kind, help people, and know no one is born wise. Lenari celebrates her victory, wondering why the people aren't thanking them. Kara reminds her that it's the doing of the thing, not the reward, that makes it valuable. Lenari is angered that Kara let the people treat her like that, and if they had any real family, she wouldn't be content with shutting herself up in a glass coffin, like this colony, like some isolated martyr. Kara tries to calm the girl down, but Lenari's powers activate, throwing Kara from her. Lenari apologizes, saying that she's nothing but a thief and a liar and doesn't belong there, and she's more than what other people can get out of her, the other people being Kara. She takes off into the sky, apologizing for everything, but thanks Kara for her lessons. Kara finds herself looking at Krypto's grave again, knowing that the dog wouldn't let her run off, and she won't let Lenari off either. Kara goes after the woman, but finds that she has been captured by the evil monsters hunting her, with one of them referring to themselves as an auntie to Lenari. The monsters say that they are there to take her home, but Kara tries to hold on to the peace she fought hard to find, no matter all the distrust and dislike she has had to deal with. She wonders what's the point of kindness when being twice as good and second best is the reward. She reminds herself not to let it go, but it's too late, as she apologizes to Krypto, unleashing her heat vision on the monsters threatening Lenari.